Hello, Libras. This is your January 2020 reading. My name is April Kamara. I'm a life coach and a medium, and I really wanted to start this year off with creating different readings for the different signs in a way that's just unique to me. I'm not a traditional tarot reader, so you're only going to get one card pulled from the tarot from me, but I really like to do my readings based on theme, archetype, and then a yogic or spiritual practice that can help you at the end. So let's get into January 2020 for you. So the first thing I like to do before I start my readings is just ask everyone to take a second with me. Put your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath. Center yourself in your heart. And just set the intention that you're going to take what resonates, leave the rest. And just that this can be the most transformational message for you during 2020 in this month of January. All right, so since I'm not traditionally a tarot reader, the way that I read these cards, and by the way, these are one of the only decks of tarot that I religiously use, is I just use it because I really connect with the imagery, and so I channel a message based on what the imagery says to me. So it's very claircognizant and clairaudient sometimes. That's really about it. So what message do we have for the Libras for January 2020? My mom and my sister are both Libras. Oh, wow, okay. You guys are going in this month. So you guys got the Devil card. The Devil card, honestly, in this deck is ratchet. I don't know if you can see it, but there's Baphomet on there, his little horns going up. You have the sign of Mars. You have the sign of what looks to be Uranus, maybe. He's holding a torch of flames, right? And the crazy thing is that there's two people who are half snake, half people. They look like little gremlins. One of them has the foot of a frog. Wild cards, right? This to me, what I'm getting from this is that there's how do I put this? For the Libras of Sun, Moon, Rising of January 2020, there is this there's this energy of staying super materially focused and super ego focused. To me, this card, it just screams bondage, it screams material bondage, bondage to the material, bondage to how much money is in your account. When I think of this Devil card, I think of that feeling you can get in the pit of your stomach when it feels like nothing is going the way that you want it to, right? And when you're looking way too much at the material world and you are kind of running yourself ragged to the point where you don't even have time to spiritually attune yourself, you don't even have time to meditate, you don't have time to do anything, and you probably wouldn't even want to do those things if you did have time. I'm getting that there's probably a propensity, is that how you say it? Whoa, the wind just picked up. There can be a tendency for Libras this month to want to, really indulge in alcohol, drugs, whatever, as a way to kind of escape this, the term work hard, play hard comes into mind, but not the kind of work hard, play hard that is healthy and is actually taking you to the next level. This is more working yourself to the bone and then taking something to give you more energy, or working yourself to the bone and then going out drinking so you can unwind and let loose, and then having some like kind of precarious situations arise from there. Like a little bit of chaos is coming from this card, you know? But truthfully, I don't want this, like, this is not a scary thing. We all go through our devil moments, right? Our devil moments are moments of like truly looking at the shadow, and the winter time is almost over, you know? So to have like a devil card moment come up January 2020 to me is very it's a wise time to do it, because we're about to like move out of this phase of like winter and we're about to move into the spring, right? So if you can stay super aware, if you can stay observant of what comes up for you this month as a Libra, right? Like, and just observe your emotions, observe situations that are happening to you, your thoughts about said situations. If you can stay in the observer mode, you can truly take this devil card moment and turn it into a very, very great and grand learning experience, and really kind of like attune yourself to what you need to get out, right? Because the thing about the devil tricks you, right? Like there's always a trick with the devil, right? The devil comes to you when you are at your lowest, when you're at your weakest, when you are like pondering a belief that's not true. Like I knew this one girl who, you know, thought that like she really wanted to make a deal with the devil because she thought that she, like, you know, that's the only way she could be famous and that's the only way she could have a lot of money, right? And she was really mad because she was like, I tried to do this and the devil doesn't come to me. And I was like, hold on, I'm gonna wait for this plane to go over. I never know how loud this is in the video, so I don't really like to talk too much through it. But I remember she was like very upset that she tried everything to like make a deal with the devil and the devil never came to her. But she also told me that like she had like a grandmother or something, or an aunt who was a medium. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they probably like have like protected you, you know, like they've like had this like sort of protection over you, because that's really not what you want to do, you know? Like I know it sounds like a good thing to do, but it's not, right? And so the thing with the devil is he always comes bearing half truths. So with this card, you already know that you're operating out of some half truth or some false belief, right? Some false idea of yourself, some false idea of something outside of yourself. And the devil very much comes as like a deal maker. He's like, hey, I know you think you can't do this, so let me like do it for you. And like the catch is, now I own you. Or, you know, the catch is, you know, I'm gonna take your life force energy or whatever. It's like this exchange, right? And you think that you have to sacrifice something in order to have what you want. And the truth is that whatever that energy is within you, like whatever your desire to go in this route of, you know, negativity is, right? Whatever is like really the main reason, the main trigger of why you're there is your biggest indicator on what you need to heal, and your biggest indicator on what you need to start incorporating into your life to believe differently. Because the truth is like, this is like saying that people are chasing things that they see outside of themselves, right? This is saying that, hey, like I have something, but it's not good enough. I want more. This is like saying, hey, you know, I'm just me and I need to be better, right? Like it's operating from this place of not being enough, not having enough, not understanding that we're powerful creators, right? So if you can take the time and like notice like what's triggering you, how this is playing in your life, then I truly believe whatever archetype card I pull for you is going to help tie that together, and is going to give you that that symbology and like kind of spiritual perspective that you may not understand on the surface, but so long as you hold that like knowing in your heart and whatever message comes through with that, it'll really help you to balance out that energy. You know, like I said, the devil card is one of the best teachers. It's just not the teacher that you want to create an idol of, right? Like, you don't want to create an idol of this teacher. You want to gain wisdom from like the chaos that comes through, right? So it will take grounding. It will take getting honest with yourself. Like, there could be bouts of depression that come through for you this month. There could be really tough emotions, and like I said, that desire to want to avoid, that desire to want to give your power away. Don't do it. Don't do it, or allow yourself to do it for the sake of understanding why you think you need to do it, and then let that like observation of how that goes for you be a teacher as well. Okay, so these are the Wild Unknown Archetype cards. Let's see what the Libras for January 2020's archetype is to tie in this Devil card theme that they have for this month. The theme of perceived bondage, perceived lack, perceived weakness. What? Oh, what? Oh, I love this one. I haven't pulled this card yet. So you guys got the Eternal Child. Ooh. This is truly, honestly, like what this is saying to me right now. You can see this image. There's like the hands of a child amidst this darkness, and inside this darkness is the sun with this like red, probably like what looks like to be Mars, surrounded by some kind of rainbow and some blue energy. To me, what this is saying is that whatever perceived bondage or powerlessness that you're going through this month is directly related to like inner child wounding, right? The Eternal Child is our best teacher, right? We all come here as children. Right? And we are indoctrinated into a society of limitation. And so long as we keep our childlike innocence, we can navigate that, right? And like, it doesn't get to us. But every single person has like this moment where fear sets in or something traumatic happens, and because they're a child, they don't know how to deal with it, and so they create these like negative coping mechanisms to try to deal with something that bothered them as a child. And so for the Libra Sun Moon Rising of January 2020, this devil card is directly correlated to some child wounding that you had, right? And so it's going to take understanding and like kind of like doing a life kind of review of when you were a child and how you felt, like, was your mom present? Was your father present? Did you feel like you belonged as a child? Did you feel like you were good enough as a child? Did you feel like you had the ability to, do, be, have whatever you wanted, right? And then ask yourself, like, with all the triggers that came up this month, with everything that, is really trying to, either you're really trying to avoid, or everything that's really making you feel less than, what aspect of your inner child needs healing right now? What aspect of yourself is going to be required to level up in a way, right? Because we may come here as children and then have these wounds, but truthfully, like, we're meant to bring that innocence back into our lives. We're meant to bring that innocence back around, but this time with wisdom, right? We're supposed to bring that childlike energy back into our being, but with wisdom, so that way next time we don't make the same decision. And a lot of the times, wisdom is being that guiding force for yourself that you didn't have as a child, right? So if something really scared you and made you feel powerless as a child and you didn't have anyone there to protect you, then coming into this situation, like, you're probably feeling like, like there's no one out there to help you, like, like you need protection and no one's there to protect you, and you may be getting yourself into precarious situations that are dangerous and that are maybe a little bit irresponsible and reckless. So this devil energy is trying to get you to see that you need to be the one protecting you. No one else is going to protect you, right? And then you get to like come in and say like, okay, well, if someone were there to protect me, what would they have told me? What would they have said? What would they have kept me from doing, right? Or if it's like a wounding around your emotions, right? And there's this feeling of like feeling like the victim all the time, and like, bad things always happen to you, and you never had anyone to tell you like, hey, life, like, this is life, these are lessons, like, you have to bring truth into them. They don't just come bearing truth. Like, you have to dig deep within yourself and bring that truth to the surface, right? So these two cards synonymous, right? Like, it's telling you basically to look, so like, this is the time to look back at like when you were a child and see how these two energies correlate. How are they similar? How are they different? Why are they similar? Why are they different? And what do you need to do to protect the innocence within you? Like, what wisdom now as an adult, as a grown being, can you incorporate? And sometimes it may just be asking that question and then like going in a different direction. Asking that question and then taking time off, taking time to go do something that you love, so that way the answer can just come to you through synchronicity. So, beautiful, beautiful message for 2020, like January 2020, beautiful message. I'm going to give you guys the spell decks, because there's got to be a good ritual for this. Alright, spell decks, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, January 2020. What remedies or rituals can they do to help them through this deep inner healing? I love these cards so much. They're so cute. Like, the art on them alone is just adorable. Sounds like there's like a weird sound coming from inside my house. I'm like, what is that? Please, my cat not be like ruining everything. Well, that just came out of nowhere. I don't know if you saw that. Oh my god. Okay. So you guys got the planet of Saturn. Both God and planet, Saturn is a taskmaster and a representation of Father Time. So it says, invoke Saturn when needing discipline, focus, and clear boundaries. What were we just talking about, right? Sustainable success is only achieved with Saturn's firm hand pushing you to let go of bad habits and destructive patterns, right? On Saturday morning, draw a bath and add any of Saturn's herbs: cypress, fumitory, mullein, witch hazel, or shepherd's purse. Include an obsidian stone in the bath so it can be charged with the grounding, sobering effects of Saturn. After your bath, bury the herbs outside. Keep the obsidian at your workspace or in your pocket whenever you need Saturn's grounding assistance. So that's like the one thing too, like a lot, like during you guys' reading, it felt like it was very much pertained to like the work life, to the work environment. So I think that's a great kind of ritual bath to do, to like really kind of center you into like who you are, and to create some boundaries, to create some structure for yourself, because most of the time when it comes to that like devil energy, it is really requiring, like, I always think of the devil as like the fallen father. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I'm not going to give you wisdom. Let me just give you what you want and not let you actually learn. So, like, to have Daddy Saturn come in and like have that bath, that ritual for you guys is perfect. So, hopefully, you guys really enjoyed this video. Tune in next month for February 2020's different like little reading that I'll be doing. I'll probably keep this like this system going just for this year and see how everyone likes it. If you'd like to work with me further, I'll leave information about that below. You can like, share, subscribe this video if it so pleases you, and I will see you guys next month. Thanks, Libra.